skills, etiquettes, work ethics, remove fear of talking in public, coming in front of the people, and makes you more self confident. And also, this happens when you learn languages, see places, go around. And these life skills are basically decision making, grow your interpersonal relations, communication, manage your stress, learn to avoid criticism, accept it positively. And there are sequence in which these life skills are arranged, and you have to organize them as your requirement, as you need them. And when you conjure up everything, it improves your quality of life and makes you a happier person, makes you a stronger person, makes you a confident person, and you become a leader. So if you imbibe the correct skills in the correct way, you can lead from the front and take your team ahead. So, what is leadership? Leadership is basically not to just sit in your office, but to lead from the front and to set an example. This is an ability to develop a vision for yourself, to motivate others, to move with a passion towards a common goal. Basically, motivating the people to follow you because you have the vision and the foresight to think ahead. And when you are a good leader, you will take your team to success. So basically, who is the leader? He is the one who can influence people and direct others, while command is the authority instituted into you by the organization, by the institution, by the virtue of your being selected to that position. And the management is supposed to give you the planning resources, the infrastructure, the modes of coordinating, and you as a leader has to take the decision by having a vision in you. So basically, when you are a leader, and what are the requirements for leadership? It is basically that you should have followers. Your relation with your leader and followers has to be good. You have to have a common goal, because if you do not have common goals, you tend to move away from each other. And then you have to have power in you, and the ability for that power to be in you has to be because of your qualities, because of you lead. And these qualities are basically the leadership traits. So these are some of the definitions. Like, what is military leadership? It is nothing different from leadership. But here I would like to tell you that the motivating factor has to be of the highest order, because you are leading the men to maybe even death, because in war there are no runners up. And when you are a leader, the basic responsibilities are for accomplishment of the mission, and above all that is the welfare of your men. So some factors of the leadership, or for a leader, is to have the leader and a follower, and to have a situation and communication, because most of the time when you do not communicate, the plan goes wary, there is no coordination, there is no learning, and you can't lead well. It is not a good team. So for a good teamwork, you need to communicate, which is of very importance. So the concept of leadership is basically the character of the leader, which is of prime importance, the situation which is there, and the skills of the team, and how they flow through the actions and convert the complete actions into the aim or goal. And again, coming back to this is the functional concept, which recognizes the interaction between the situations and the people as such. So, an effective leader has to basically create a vision for the future. He has to plan, give decision. Now, decision making is very important, because if you do not give the correct decision, it is as good as not moving forward. And a decision can be right or wrong, but please take a decision, because no decision is a lost battle. Decision, even if it is wrong, the leader must stand by it, take the onus on him, and move forward. And finally, when the decision is taken, put the whole thing into action. So basically, an effective leader has to provide direction, build up his team, develop commitment by motivating them, and be professionally sound to set an example. And all these, when conjured up together, makes you accepted as a leader. Now, there are few styles of leadership which have different ways of working, but then they have their pros and cons, and the pros and cons, when put together, because no type of leadership is very correct. Coming on to the autocratic thing, is what is when the leader gives all the directions, the team just follows. Here, there can be revolution or rebellion within the team members, because no ideologies from them are taken and can demotivate the people. Democratic, again, too much of democracy is not very good, because everybody's ideas are taken, everybody is a boss, everybody is a leader, and finally you all are going into different directions. The leader is not able to control, and laissez-faire is when it is everybody's idea is taken. That is, leader takes the decision which is correct after evaluating which is right and which is wrong, as per the requirement, as per the resources that are there. So put everything together a little bit. You have to have the stick in your hand. You have to have participation, take their ideas. But the decision is of the leader, because he has the vision, he's selected for it, and people had accepted him. Now, the military leader. Why I talk about military leader? Because I have spent 35 years. My first innings has finished, and I am here to motivate the youth for their second innings. So, sorry, for their first innings. So, my second innings is here for your first inning. And remember that, like I said, no runner ups in war. You either win or you die, not lose. This is what I said before. So, a leader in a stressed situation has to keep cool, to not let the chaos around you stampede the situation, overcome the chaos, and show your qualities. So, all this, what is there on the slide, says that you have to be professionally sound, authoritative, be a good decision maker, and have good professional ethics with selfless service. Because, like Chetwood had mentioned, the honor and safety of the country comes first, then comes the welfare of my men. My comfort is last, and last only. So, this is what a leader has to be. He is a mix of a leader and a manager. That is what a military leader or a commander is, because he has to understand, be original, focus on the goal, think long, with eyes on the horizon. Do not think of what is happening 1 year after. Think what may be the consequences after 5 years. Think out of the box without just being a copy and cut. And if you teach your team or your man as you want him to be, give him the resources, he will be as what you want him to be. The traits of leadership, as known to everybody, is loyalty, courage, honesty, and integrity. They are foremost, because if you are not honest and have the loyalty traits, you cannot be a leader. You cannot expect your team to follow you. Competence, because you should know the subject or the field that you're working in, so that your team has faith in you, that the leader will be there with the ideas, correct decision at the right time for the job to be done just in time, and think progressively. That is to look forward with a vision. So, a military leader has all those qualities, has aggression into him, and with a flexibility of mind, with his strategic and tactical knowledge. Be a robust leader, and these words of integrity, moral courage, and honesty have to be the fiber in his body, because if he cannot stand up for his country, cannot stand up for his mistakes, he is not fit to be a leader. So, these are some of the leadership principles. They are, everything is same, only being put into different words. But then what I am going to come to is to learn these life skills so that they are put in a proper way, so that you have those leadership qualities in you. Now, if you are going to be a good leader, you need to have good teamwork. And to have good teamwork, the leader has to bind everything with communication, interpersonal relations, to move to a common goal. So, teamwork is nothing but to work together to move to a common goal. And that is needed, because a fist can give a blow and bash on regardless, but a finger can do nothing. And effective teamwork can only come with communication, communication only with good relations. So we must let the word I leave, and it has to be we, with no ego. So let the ego and we all go towards a same goal. So having a good team gives you better decisions, distribution of workload, and which make productivity grows more, and everybody learns and are motivated. Oh God, what has happened? Without communication, you go off the track. So communication is the key for any relation to grow, for any team to work together. Because most of the time, what happens, if there is no communication, it is thought that communication has taken place, but no communication has taken place. So we go astray. So, what does the team say? Together, everyone achieves more. And when you are a team, everybody has to accept the fair share of work. Like in the army, we have a buddy system, and everybody helps each other. When you are going as a team, everybody has got a strong point. So the leader should work out and give the tasking according to the strong points of that person. Right man for the right job. So that is the work of the team, to supervise, adjust, and move forward. with the strengths of each, covering up the weak points and interpersonal relations. If we are not having good relations with each other, we don't identify with each other, we will not be a successful team. So, for that, the leader has to understand each person, his problems, his strong points, and then, like I said, right man for the right job. And this is when communication will never fail. Tasks will be done with good interpersonal relations. Like when there is a problem, do not do letter writing, pick up the phone, walk up to the person, talk to him. Half the problem will be sorted out. And then completing your task on time. You have to see the real time, which is the clock time, and move forward, because time management is very important to reduce stress and to do the work in the correct time. Time management is basically taking the correct decision at the correct time, communicate properly, practice your skills, and do everything right. So, if you plan, manage your team, deal with everybody, manage your time well, you will get results as you want. Because time is fluid, it flows on, it doesn't stop for anybody. So, you have to stay focused, schedule, plan, jot out your ideas, take decision, have a vision, work out a plan, and move forward. Oh God, decision making, the biggest problem for a manager or a leader is to take a decision. Many people do not want to take them because the onus comes onto him. So there you have to have the moral courage to stand up and say, yes, I'm the one who took the decision. So for decision making, do it fast, construct a clear picture of what you require, resources that you have, collect information on the alternatives, compare the alternatives, consider what is right or wrong, and commit to a decision and follow it. And when you do that, your team is motivated. Motivation is something which binds everybody towards doing something for the correct goal. And all this can be based on different types of motivations. The process which is there has to be incentive oriented, because everybody wants to do something which is very required. Some types of motivation and benefits of motivation, because then you get job satisfaction, which is most important, and you learn. So to create a motivating environment, you have to give incentives, pat the person in public, reprimand him in privacy, because do not insult your team. Some great leaders, Alexander, who at 32 conquered most of Asia and the world also. He was aggressive, had planning ideas, coordinated, and moved and attacked from the front. Again, Genghis Khan, a great strategian, came, invaded through Asia and Europe, and conquered a lot with his, and who had honesty, integrity as his foremost character. Then we had freedom fighters of India, who are also leaders. Military leaders are not the only leaders, but then we have leaders in the environment. You lead, you have sports leaders, you have leaders in the corporate world who are taking corporates towards success. Every leadership has different styles, but then he is a leader because he's leading a team with passion, compassion, and a goal, and correct decisions and time management. and with communication between his team. So he is leading them towards success. On the slide are some of these leaders. Sports Kohli with aggression has been one of the best captains, while Tendulkar has not been a good captain, but though he may be a master player, but as a captain, India has not succeeded much with him. Dhoni, the cool man, स्ट्रेस लेके भी उसने स्ट्रेस दूसरों को नहीं दिया and India won the World Cup. And what more? Kapil Dev, aggression, leadership, sportsmanship all combined into one. And India was able to get the 83 World Cup just under his leadership because of his cool style. Dhyan Chand, the hockey wizard, had woven magic around these peoples and had led India to the Olympic hockey gold. Other leaders, Ambedkar, Shastri, Mrs. Gandhi, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Lesser talked, the better because everybody knows him and one of the best presidents that India could have. And coming on to one of the greatest leaders that I adore, Sam Bahadur. आप सबने पिक्चर देखा होगा. And he was a man who would go down to the grassroots and knew to spot talent and deploy them. Faith in his boys was what made him win the 71 war. Could stand up for his faults, for his men, could die. Great visionary planned the war, did not just succumb to the political machinery. कि युद्ध करना है तो चल पड़े. Gave a date and time and stood by it and had the moral courage to say no to a thing. There are many incidents when he has said, shut up to a politician. Just took what was authorized to him, not more than that, because he did not want the perks and privileges. He wanted to give back something to the nation and great balance who would work on ground, meet everybody on the ground and was open to them, not used to pull around his rank and gave due to his juniors. Like we have seen the great picture of General Jagjit Singh Arora and Niazi signing the surrender agreement. Maneksha could have sat there, but then the Eastern Command GOC was the one who won the battle. That is what Maneksha said and gave him his due right of signing the surrender accession. Like I said, Sam connected with the grassroots, and any soldier could come up to him in an open forum, meet him. Then professional respect. When the Pakistani POWs were there, they were treated with honor and respect for their state and religion. He even had to answer to the political bosses, but then he stood that they are soldiers and not servants. And in the final days, when he became a field marshal, for 30 years after that, he did not get his pay or pension. Pay as a field marshal, not a pension, because field marshal never retires. And Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was another great man who, when came to know, got the check of rupees 1.3 crores to the field marshal to his deathbed in Wellington. And Manekshaw, as a great soldier, without taking the money, gave it to the Army Welfare Fund. So these are great men. These are the thoughts. So think positive, communicate, and lead well. So, any questions? If you are there on the live, please ask me, or can also give it in the comment box, and they will be answered aptly. and to satisfy you. Thank you. And later on, also, people seeing this video can please subscribe and like the video. And please share it amongst your friends so that they also can be a good leader. So, gentlemen, here I end my stream, and please like and subscribe. Jai Hind.